Good morning all, hope you're doing well. Friday, the 30th of the 9th, 2022, Quasidb morning bulletin. We've got end of month, don't forget today. And so we're going to possibly see a bit of chop as the hedge funds and things, they close their portfolios. They rebalance for the month that they've had and they're looking forward to next month. So it's possible that they're going to see a little bit of chop with them closing some positions. I've got a feeling they might be closing some USD longs. Potentially they've made a lot of profits on their dollar. However, we are risk off, so that would support a stronger dollar. The SSI is very skewed. It's a 9 now. So for every one person selling, there's 9 people buying indices versus the one person selling. So that's very skewed. Normally these guys are counter trend and they're under a lot of fear and they're reading news events and then they're selling, but they're reading news events, but they're not believing the news events and they're disregarding the scary narratives and they're buying. As we can see, the 24-hour difference, they bought. All right, so if they're buying, then it's going to be a counter trend, contrarian signal for further losses because these guys are wrong, normally speaking. VIX is above its yearly pivot, and well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens here. They need to be flushed, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to do a quick 2-minute video for the private feed after this bulletin, and we can look at the indices and their sentiment. So very skewed, 9 SSI, which is really unusual. Yields fell, so that might indicate a little bit of softening around the USD. It won't be so aggressive, potentially speaking. These really ramped high, and the dollar just absolute rampage, and it was so strong. I think the central banks of the world have had to intervene on the USD, and the Bank of Korea, Indonesia, Japan, Bank of England. Although you could say probably not so much intervention, but they intervened on the bond purchases. So the banks of the world are trying to combat the USD. So we're going to see a little bit of chop, I think, especially end of month as well. This would indicate a little bit of dollar weakness, but how long this is going to last, we can't say for sure. It might just ramp up at New York. So we might have an inversion on the 6-month and 12-month. Which is not going to be good at all. That's going to be quite scary. Ideally, we have the nice and low here and medium high over here. But what's going on is going this way. See what's happening? Especially if these two invert, that's going to be quite risk off. All right. Oil, big mover. Pound, big mover. But you would have seen that on the price. And hopefully you guys read the trading chat in Discord and you followed my advice about the pound, because I've been studying the sentiment for a long time now and it's quite clear what happened there. And you have to be careful because the price action was like signaling sell, 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 sell. But then you think, well, hang on a minute, we're at 50-year lows. Right, so why would you want to sell at 50-year low? It doesn't make sense. Unfortunately, the herd really believed the price action that they saw Monday, Tuesday, and they got so involved. And I did say they were going to get screwed on their pound positioning, and it looks like they are, and they will continue. And it's going to blow them up because their risk management is rubbish. All right, so we might be seeing a turning point in the Dixie in so much as that we're seeing a little bit of deviation away from this almighty strength that we've seen from the USD. It's just been a bit too much of a wrecking ball. Also keep an eye on that dollar bubble as well. I haven't really mentioned the USD bubble, but you do need to check your spreadsheet. Keep an eye on that. So the pound USD is now the leader. So that's a big change, and the dollar Swiss is the laggard there. And we had a pound Swiss long yesterday. We made 226 pips yesterday on that one trade using the bubble deviation. And that's that. Yeah, you need to subscribe to see today's trade of the day. Hopefully you guys don't mind too much. It's just, I can't give too much away for free. I mean, this bulletin is on YouTube, so you've got a lot of alpha here if you want to take some ideas. But if you want to get the trade of the day, you have to subscribe to the bulletin tier. It's £8 a month, so it's totally affordable. So you can just join that and then you get the trade of the day. If you want to get the basic content, that's all of Discord. So you unlock everything in Discord, which is pretty reasonable. There's the link, patreon.com, Quasidb. And there's the Discord link as well. And so how are we looking on the snapshots? Well, we can see the S&P is negative. We're below the 21 moving average. I was saying how we need to wait for that moving average to even out. Right now, it's just in free fall mode. So don't buy it when the moving average is pointing down. Look to sell it when we have a test of the MA. Okay? And until the moving average peters out and it like levels out a little bit, then you can look for longs. All right, so technically you wouldn't want to be buying this, but that is quite in descent there. So and you see how long they are as well. They're actually quite long on the pound USD on FXCM. So that's of note. Okay, so we'll have to see what happens with that number. And if they short it or they go long, then that number is going to change. The long DAX, the long S&P, UK 100, US 30, dollar Swiss, and gold. And so they've gone long, and they got pretty wrecked here. However, they've gone added long, and so what's happening here is that at the point where they went long, it would be unusual to see price go above the point where they went long because they're counter trend, and they're not really allowed to profit for any time. So this would be unusual. So this is like a resistance here, which you could probably argue is probably like a bit of supply because we've got that sort of doji candle here. So at the bottom of that doji candle is going to be like a resistance of 3675 from the logic that they shouldn't be profiting, and it would be unusual for them to be profiting. And of course, the situation here is if they do short it, we'll have a buy. Okay, so that's important. You want to get a copy of this trading station. I will say it every day until you guys get on the case. It's free, and there's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't be downloading it. It doesn't make any sense that you wouldn't be using it at all. So you should. US 30, same logic. And, if they sell it, it's going to be a buy, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And they shouldn't be allowed to profit, so that would be like a resistance there. Okay. However, we've got Friday and we've got end of month. And we've got the rebalancing of the portfolios and all that stuff. DAX, likewise, they went long here. So you'll be surprised to see price above. But then maybe they might sell it here. Right? That's the thing. That's like the caveat. They could definitely short it. And if they do, then, we'll rally. And that won't be a resistance. Okay? Then, if they really sell it in a big way, up will come. Gold, we had like a wedge break, up we come. And now what this second circle is that they went long, but then they got paid a lot. Right, but then they shorted it here-ish. Can you see? And so price came up. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 hours of them getting paid in this little bit here. Then they sold it, and then they sold it against the 21 moving average. Up we come. They might go long, and if they do, down will come. Right, so keep an eye on that video for that. I'll do it in the private feed. 2-minute video. They sold a lot of things, a bit crazy, but that's what they did. And they went long on AJ and AU. Right, so I wondered whether or not we're going to see all green, indicating that they sold everything, but they didn't. They just went long on AJ and AU. Larger stop loss clusters UJ. 144.90, and that's larger than it was yesterday. However, we've got the big psychological round number and the Bank of Japan intervention looming. Right, if we go above 145, 146, 147, and then 150, it has to get hammered down. And we are a buy at the big picture, and they shorted it on the dynamic. Right, and this is fairly decent, quite happy with that. Some days this week we were very, very low, and so it tells us that a trap was being placed. Now the trap has been placed, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning, so this is quite high for how we are right now, which is okay, it's fine. Normally you expect it about 67%, 65%, 70%, about 8 o'clock, which is the London Open. So this is okay. We'll have to wait and see. This should probably stay about where it is, and it should get higher. Okay, and if it gets higher, then the trap's definitely in. And so that's how that works. So once it basically uses quite a clever daily pivot technical metric. It examines where price is above or below, and did they buy it or sell it in conjunction with the daily pivot. So the daily pivot is the intraday technical bias that we use, and so hopefully that's not too bad. So for example, they've gone long USD, sentiment is positive, technical is negative. So that's correct, because if they buy, price should fall. Right, so that's the logic there. They sold the pound and price went up. Okay, so that's why the pound's got a good score. That's why USD's got a good score. So that should hopefully make sense. It's not too bad. And yeah, so here we go. This is pretty amazing. Very, very happy. Yesterday was one of the best days of the year. I know Andre took this trade, and I'm not sure who else took the trade, but it's a fantastic trade for us. I'm really, really happy. It just kept going up and up and up and up, and it was really, really nice. I'm very, very happy. So this brings our weekly profit and loss nicely positive, but we'll have to wait and see what happens today with the trade of the day. I think even if today's trade of the day goes awry and it goes bad, we'll still have a positive week, because this was tremendous, and there's no way I think today's trade of the day is gonna fall that much. I doubt very much that it's gonna do that. But we'll have to wait and see. And technical indicators. So what's cool is that the pound has now moved away, finally, and the dollar Swiss has moved away, and the euro pound has moved away. We were very extreme for a long time, and now things are changing, which is a relief, because it was really boring. The dollar was so strong technically, it's just one-way traffic, and now we're seeing a little bit of interesting developments happening on the technicals. And so that is good to see. I'm quite happy about that. And lots of data today. CPI from the Eurozone, that's going to be a mover. And then you've got the, that's probably going to be a mover as well. And just to let you know is that don't trade Fridays, and I have got Monday off. So if you need to contact me at all, just let me know. I will respond on Monday, but ideally I take it off, and I'll be back Tuesday. So hopefully it was a good week for you guys. Remember, the trader days are normally very successful, so you can just take them with like a micro lot if you're not unsure. And as you gain confidence over time, then you can increase your lot size. And it was a really good day yesterday. I'm still quite happy about it. I was buzzing from that, and that's why I woke up early. I woke up really early today. I was really happy about this. So come on board with us, and then you can hopefully share in our success. And I'll speak to you guys on Tuesday. Private members, I'll do a quick 2-minute video now.